Okay, the Daisy Stormer. I remember you. Is this the Daisy? This is the white supremacist female troll. Well, she's back. This is the white supremacist female troll from a few months ago, if you remember. She's an alt-right white supremacist female.
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on, Daisy? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Yeah, we had a very interesting conversation last time. A lot of trolling, a lot of lying you were doing, ma'am.
I wouldn't say lying. I would say I was a bit inebriated.
Right. Well, a lot of you white supremacists do stuff and then blame the liquor, but it's okay. We're used to that. So what's on your mind now, Daisy?
Well, when you put it that way, alcohol, that kind of is the white man's thing. Crack's y'all's thing. That's not our thing.
Right. And the crack of your ass being spread open for black dudes, that's your thing too, ma'am. I heard you had a hankering for brothers.
That's actually one of the most disgusting rumors I've ever heard about myself. I don't even know where that would have come from.
Damn, you're sitting up here trying to play Miss White Supremacist of the Year, but I heard you had a hankering for the brothers, ma'am. You had a
no. It's Asians. It's Asian dudes.
No, we know you have an Asian guy, and you fantasize that he has an afro, and yeah. Well, ma'am, did you swallow your meth? Are you okay over there? You can't inhale too hard, ma'am. But also, you were the $5 Indian. You were claiming to be Native, but I saw video of you actually admitting that you were a Latina, which I knew.
No, I'm not, because if you actually define the word Latina or Latino, it invokes the idea that you're Italian of some sort. I've done a DNA test. I have 0% Spaniard, and I have 0% Italian.
So why are you doing interviews saying that you're Latina?
Because it's just easier than explaining that I'm just like some Central American volcano thrower.
Okay, so were you lying then or you lying now?
I just try to keep it simple.
Okay, so then you're just lying. Okay, all right. Okay, anyway, Daisy. All right. Thank you so much, dear. Let me get some more people in.
I love.
I don't want to hear no buck tooth lying white supremacist babble. I just don't want to hear it. All right. Okay, let's see who else we got. Let's see who else is popping in here. We got a lot of folks in here. Let's get Myra or Mira. Mira or Myra? What is it, ma'am? Let's have you hop on, ma'am. Mira or Myra?
Hi, Tariq. I just want to say I don't think we should be split on who should get reparations. I think as a whole we should agree that no one deserves reparations. No one alive right now has been a victim of slavery.
Yes, they are, and we are. Foundational Black Americans, we've been victimized by slavery, the legacy of slavery. Yes, we are.
How has the legacy of slavery even affected you, though?
Because the benefits of slavery have been locked in and maldistributed into white society and passed down generationally, and the deprivation has been locked into black society and passed down to us. This is why we have to struggle more in order to succeed, because of the deprivation from slavery, ma'am. That's why.
I would disagree, because as a white girl, I've actually received negative effects due to black people receiving the upper hand just because they're black. I've been denied positions and scholarships for the reason that I'm white, and black people.
Ma'am, what school denied you a scholarship, ma'am?
I'm not gonna reveal that information, but
because it doesn't exist.
It does exist.
Because
I'm
it doesn't
not
exist.
My location, but it's
because it doesn't
exist.
Ma'am, no school denied you because of a damn black person, ma'am. If you don't stop lying,
I'm not lying. You're lying. I was also
lying. That's why you
can't. Competition, and I got chosen as runner-up to the black girl simply because she was black. They even stated it was because she was black.
No, they didn't.
Yes.
And no, that didn't happen, ma'am. You're lying, ma'am.
I'm not lying. They stood up there and said, unfortunately,
Mira,
you're not black enough for us today.
That's a lie, Mira. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Mira, you're lying. Mira, what You're white. You look Hispanic in your
That's not
pic.
me.
Oh, it's a fake picture. So you're lying. You even profile. What part of Europe is your family from?
Ireland.
Ireland. When did they immigrate here, ma'am?
Potato famine era.
Okay. Well, you're welcome, man. That's how you benefited. If it weren't for foundational Black Americans building this wonderful, wealthy country, your family would still be over there in Ireland scratching their ass with headlights.
I think I
potato.
credit the white people and like the British that immigrated and the Native Americans. I don't accredit the Black people at all.
Ma'am, the Native Americans, well, the red ones, because there were some Black Native Americans who got reclassified as Negro and enslaved. But the red Native Americans and the fake $5 Indians, they had zero bearing on the building of the United States. I mean, literally nothing. And the British...
You know what they did do, though? They fertilized the land for us. They kept it up before we immigrated here. And
ma'am, that's horse crap. That's not true, ma'am.
It is true. They fed the land for us. They got it started. They began the farms. They began societies, and then if anything, their families deserve reparations, but it doesn't even
what they
matter.
Get them. They get them. The red
they do, yeah, but Black people don't deserve it.
Well, why don't Black people deserve it?
I mean, a lot of the Black people living in America nowadays aren't even, half their ancestors aren't even slaves.
We're not talking about them. That's why we're talking about foundational Black Americans. I agree.
Don't think they should receive them either, because it's the difference between saying, well, my ancestors were slaves, so I deserve reparations. But if you're talking about the effects that current day Black people affect, it would be all Black people.
So why? But, ma'am, what you're practicing is called racism, because you said that the red natives deserved it, and what happened to them is not a so-called affecting them now. But if they deserve it, but we don't, that's just based on race. That's called racism. You're practicing white supremacy, man.
Yeah, I do. I prefer the Native Americans because they fertilized land for us, and I'm saying if anything, they deserve it, but they don't at the end of the day. I'm just. But saying, you just said
okay, but you just said they did, ma'am. You're all over the place.
No. I was saying that as like a loose term. I still don't agree anyone deserves reparations like they originally stated.
But you just said the Native Americans do.
But I don't actually mean that. It was a loose statement. I was just proving that I prefer Native Americans over Black people.
Well, it's just basically just a run-of-the-mill anti-Black racist.
I'm not anti-Black. I'm anti-reparations for Black people.
Right, that's anti-Blackness, ma'am. And
no, it's not. If anything, I deserve reparations because my family was affected by the potato famine, and therefore,
ma'am,
they malnutrition by birth.
They
so
got
I need money to be. I need money to be fed.
Ma'am, y'all got all the benefits of whiteness when you got here. When you got here, you got $1 million worth of whiteness.
I did not. My family started from the bottom.
Ma'am, they didn't start from the bottom. They had that $1 million worth of whiteness.
My great-great-grandfather had to become a slave owner. He had to make his way up there.
Right, and he started from the bottom and became a slave owner, and he has a goofy, degenerate great-great-great-granddaughter who sounds like she has the IQ of a fly, and you're still not being marginalized. And
I am being marginalized.
You're not, ma'am.
Do you want me to explain to you the ways I'm being marginalized?
Ma'am, no, you're not marginalized, ma'am. You sound ditzy as a Bessie bug, and you're going to be all right as a white person. You're going to be fine as a white supremacist. That's why you have to depend on white supremacy, because without white supremacy, just listening to you, you can't make it nowhere without a welfare system uplifting you. Listen to you.
Well, although I'm ethnically white, I have been mistaken for almost every race across the world. So therefore, by my looks, I'm not white.
Okay.
Ethnically, yes, but I have been asked if I'm half Black before. Nobody knows what I am. So at face value, I do not receive my white benefit.
Yes, you do.
The white benefit that does not exist.
Yeah, it does, ma'am. This is why you're upholding it. This is why you're upholding white supremacy. Those benefits do exist. This is why you're practicing anti-Black racism, which we're not tripping on because we're used to it. But we're still going to get what we're supposed to get, and that's going to be our reparations.
May I ask, why do you feel like you... Actually, no, I already asked this. Because you feel like you still face effects of past slavery, although you don't.
I mean, we have you here. Listen, and you're relatively young. You're a young white supremacist. So now...
I'm not a white supremacist.
Oh, yes, you are, ma'am. You sound like one.
How? I love my Black folk, you know? I have Black friends.
Have you had sexual relations with a black man before, man?
I'm waiting till marriage, so no. I haven't had sexual relationships with anybody.
I don't believe that, man.
I am. I'm a devout Catholic.
I don't believe that. I don't. The Catholic. What does that mean? The Catholic Church, they stay up in somebody's pussy. What are you talking about? That don't mean nothing.
It does mean a lot, actually.
It doesn't mean
You're
anything.
just being very ignorant against my faith and religion right now.
Ma'am, yeah, the Catholic priests are always somewhere touching on somebody, got their finger somewhere up in somebody.
There's always rotten apples in every damn bunch of people.
Rotten apples, ma'am.
Half the black population is killing each other.
The Catholic Church is like a freaknik for pedophiles. What are you talking about, man?
And the black community, the great group of murderers.
Ma'am.
And rapists and domestic violence people.
Ma'am, nobody murders and rapes like you white supremacists. You are the kings and queens of murder, rape, and mayhem, ma'am.
Maybe mass shootings, yes. And shoot up them damn schools. We're pretty good at that. But we're not shooting each other on the regular. You mean I'll walk down to Baltimore and black kids are getting killed by each other.
Ma'am, you white supremacists commit whole genocides, ma'am. So let's not go there. Let's not go there, sweetie.
I mean, at least we're killing like other groups. It's not white on white crime half the time. Y'all just hate each other and you hate yourselves.
No, we don't do that like that, ma'am. That's only in a very few pockets of places. And you guys in your white community, you emphasize that, but nah, not really. We're fine. We just got to get the white supremacists out of our mix, and we're going to be good.
I'm not a white supremacist.
And ma'am, them birth rates, that's the problem. Them birth rates are getting real low, and this is why you guys are getting...
It's because of all the child trafficking and all the child rape and everything they do to children. Society and the government is telling us to stop giving birth because we're running out of supplies because everyone's so addicted to the consumers in society. I mean, but it's also a lot. You can still reproduce.
Well, the child trafficking, that's your community, man. What's wrong with your community with all
that's every community.
No, it's not.
Have you seen the people that were on Epstein Island? There's a couple black folk.
No, who?
Yes, there were. And most of the people benefiting from the child trafficking.
Who? Well, no. What black people? No. Black people weren't really rocking with Epstein like that, man. That's your community. That's the white.
Do you want to pull up the Epstein Island guest list right now? There's black people on there.
Who? Man, that was mostly the people in your community, man. You be saying anything, don't you? That's trafficking. That's major in your community, man. The white supremacists, you guys have trafficking rings all over the place. There are 0 child sex trafficking rings in black society. Literally none. We don't do that, ma'am, in foundational black American culture. That's one thing we do not do. We do not have places where you can go in black society to get a damn child for sexual access. We highly look down on that, ma'am.
Yeah, and you know what? Most society highly looks down on that as well. But
not yours, man. Not yours.
I
do not
accredit myself with the pedophilistic society.
Not white supremacists, ma'am. You white supremacists give each other slaps on the wrist for pedophilia.
I am not a white supremacist. I think every single pedophile should be burned at the stake and killed.
Yeah.
That's not a slap on the wrist, but I don't have the power to.
But y'all don't give them slaps on. Y'all don't put them on the stake and all of that stuff, man. You guys.
But I don't have that power.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I could easily. My white skin doesn't give me the power to go kill every damn pedophile in this world.
But ma'am, you guys be in courtrooms giving them slaps on the wrist, ma'am.
You know, there's black judges that have given leeway to pedophiles as well.
Ma'am, stop.
We can talk about that.
Stop it. You're just saying anything, man.
This isn't even a color war anymore. I mean, you don't need your reparations because I've never seen you picking cotton in the fields. I mean, damn, you're on a red carpet photo shoot in your picture right now.
And what does that mean? What does that have to do with my reparations money?
I mean, it doesn't look like you need money based off of that.
Ma'am.
What would this money do to benefit you? It would just make you lazier in society.
No, it would not, ma'am. No, it would be compensation and justice because it's owed to me. The money was denied my family. and my family suffered. And in order for me to walk that red carpet and shine, I had to work extremely hard, harder than I was supposed.
No. Your ancestors had to work. I
I
bet you
am
had
my
a great
ancestors.
upbringing.
I am my ancestors, ma'am, and my
No,
ancestors.
you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
I'm
you're
one.
not.
Yes, I am.
Just because your
I
blood belongs to
am,
those people
ma'am.
doesn't make you them. I
Ma'am,
mean,
yes,
what would
it
you call an
does.
adopted child?
Yes, it does. I am my ancestors, and my ancestors are me. We are one and the same. I carry their lineage and their spirit. Yes, I am.
No,
And they want me to get compensation for what happened and the legacy that's been passed down. They want me to get compensation for that, ma'am. You understand?
If anything, your compensation should be taking advantage of the opportunities you have now that your ancestors didn't
I'm
have.
not going to
Shouldn't
let
be begging for money that you don't deserve.
Ma'am, you come from a fleeing culture where people were broke who came to a country and got benefits they didn't deserve. So what you talking about?
I mean, I'm not reaping the benefits of that, though.
The hell you're not, if it were not for the wealth generated by my foundational Black American family. Your little old racist self would still be in Ireland eating llama meat somewhere.
That's not true.
Yes, it would be, ma'am.
And if it wasn't,
you would still be over there broke.
Coming here,
ma'am, you would still be over there in Ireland broke.
And if it wasn't for the British colonizers coming over here and taking advantage of all the Black people, we would all still be in our respective countries doing it out of whatever the fuck. We'd probably still be in the desert, and I would probably still be eating potatoes on the farm.
Ma'am, let me tell you something. We would be in a more advanced civilization if our lineage and legacy wasn't disturbed by the white supremacists. I think we would be more advanced than we are now, because a lot of technological advances are stolen and hidden by the white supremacists.
I agree with this.
This is why over in places like Tokyo and Japan, they got so many beautiful advancements over there. Some of the technology over there.
You want to know why? They stayed in their respective countries. Their entire population is basically all Asian.
Yes, indeed. Now, they were colonized at one point and they were bombed at another point. But the thing is, when you don't have the white supremacists on a day-to-day basis undermining your progress, a lot of people do phenomenal things. And foundational Black Americans, we do a lot of phenomenal things if we are thwarted and undermined by your community, ma'am. And we have to be compensated for that.
I don't think you're undermined, though. I mean,
of course you don't, because you're an anti-Black racist. Of course you don't, ma'am. You think all detriment to Black people is justified. Because
I mean, I've been talked down to and told that whatever the fuck I was doing wasn't as good just as much as a Black person sitting next to me.
Doesn't mean a Black person saying something you don't like don't mean nothing. We are harmed by your community. It's not the same. Don't try to play the comparative game, ma'am. Your community harms us physically, economically.
Your community harms my community as well.
No, we don't, because we don't have the power to.
You praise ghetto culture. You're indoctrinating people that grow up in amazing families with great values and morals,
community,
and teaching them.
Ma'am, your community boosts ghetto culture. That's the white corporate structure that signal boosts the ghetto culture. We don't do that, ma'am. That's your community. The major corporate white-owned record labels and the white-owned media, they're the ones who portray and parade hood culture on their billion-dollar media systems. They do that, ma'am. So why does your culture? Why does your culture do? Why does your ma'am?
Practicing it in the masses,
ma'am.
I mean, what does it?
Why, ma'am? Ma'am, why does your culture pump billions of dollars in the degenerate underbelly of Black society when there's so many constructed people? They don't do anything with the constructed people.
It's because they want society to be dumber so they can steal money from everybody.
Okay, ma'am, because nobody's going to your community giving billions of dollars to promote all of the meth addicts that's in your community, all of the hillbillies, all of the trailer trash, all of the toothless wet dog smelling morons that's in your community. Nobody's putting $1 billion apparatus to portray that to the global masses.
They do portray it though. All of that is
Where?
intertwined in the ghetto music.
Where do they
let me
show
shoot my cocaine, let me smoke my weed, like let me snort my drugs, let me pump my heroin into my veins, like that's all that music. Let me fuck this bitch here, let me fuck that bitch there, let me get
why does your community
my baby mama pregnant and kill the baby, like come on.
Why does your white community buy it? Because 80% of the rap consumers are white. Why does your community buy that and promote that? That's your community buying it.
It's not the community, it's the top 1% of people who
No, ma'am. 80% of rap music, all of the baby mama shoot the nigga, whatever, that's bought by white people. You know that, right?
No. It's the top 1% that controls the music industry. Yes.
No. I'm talking about the consumers, ma'am. The people who buy all of the shoot 'em up, do the heroin, do the crack, whatever, who buy the ghetto music, the people who promote it are white. The people who buy it are majority white.
I don't know about you, but it's not just white people. It's basically every single race on the earth.
When you go when you go to these concerts with all of these ghetto rappers, 90% of the people in the audience are white for the most part.
I wouldn't know because I'm a white person that doesn't bleed into that culture. So,
what music do you listen to? You don't sound like a Taylor Swift fan. What music?
Like classical.
No, you don't, ma'am.
Yes, I do.
Name a classical artist besides Mozart and Beethoven.
Vivaldi, Franz.
Franz, who?
You don't know who that is?
Franz who?
I don't know. I just call him Franz. I never read the rest.
Okay, you just saying shit. Okay, so
Franz,
you don't listen to. You're just saying stuff, sweetie. Stop it.
No. You don't. Do you know who that is?
Who do you? You're just saying stuff. Who do you listen to? For real.
That's for real. That's who I listen to.
Did you listen to Beyonce?
No, don't like Beyonce.
Why don't you like? I knew you didn't
like Andrea Bocelli.
I could tell. The white supremacist women, y'all hate Beyonce for some reason. I can tell. Y'all really hate Beyonce.
I don't hate her as a person. I just don't like the music.
Why don't you like her music?
It's not good to me.
Just a beautiful black woman with all that talent and, just...
she is beautiful, but I just don't like her music. I don't like it.
Right. There's too much... I know you don't have... There's too much rhythm, too much soul. I got it. But, but as far as the reparations conversation, we're going to push that line. We got to get those reparations. We know you don't like it. Of course you don't like it. You don't like black people for the most part, but, that's y'all haven't been liking us. This ain't about liking. We ain't trying to get liked. We're trying to get what's owed, man. And that's what we're going to keep pushing that. So
I don't understand why the black child that I've gone to school with my whole life has had the same opportunities as me, lived in the same neighborhood as me.
They don't have the opportunity. No, they don't. They don't have the same opportunities because you are a white supremacist, ma'am. And white supremacists, you got $1 million worth of privileges automatically that we don't.
Where's this money then? Because I'm not receiving it.
It's
I'm working 2 damn jobs to pay for my college tuition.
It's in your skin, ma'am.
I would like to see it then because it's not showing up in my bank account. I don't see it anywhere.
It's in your skin, ma'am. You get million. It is.
I'm not exfoliating my skin and money fucking falling into the sink.
Ma'am, calm down. Don't let your mayonnaise spill over, ma'am. Ma'am, you get $1 million worth of protection and whiteness, ma'am. For example, Kyle Rittenhouse. I like to use that example. He was a poor trailer park white supremacist degenerate like yourself. But when he went to court, that man got millions of dollars worth of legal defense just because he was white. That's my example. What black folks don't get that. You get millions of... O.J. Simpson is innocent. So what do you mean, what about O.J. Simpson? And he had to spend millions of dollars to prove he was innocent. So he would be... And not only that, he was innocent and still went to jail. So what about him?
O.J. Simpson wasn't innocent.
Yes, he was innocent and was found innocent, and they still used the I'm white and I say so and put him in jail for stealing his own stuff. That proves my point right there, ma'am. So thank you for proving the point with O.J. Simpson. It's the first time anybody went to jail for stealing their own stuff for a damn decade. The man went to jail for a decade for taking his own stuff. That's called white supremacy, man. We don't get the kind of protection you do based on race. See how that works?
I mean, I don't really understand how you're talking about this white man who got millions of dollars in legal help when there is free legal services in almost every state for everyone.
Ma'am, that's not the point. You're pretending to not know what I'm talking about. Kyle Rittenhouse had a whole court system bend over backwards for him after he killed people, ma'am. A black person could never get that, no matter how much money he has. That's what the benefits of whiteness gives you. It gives you certain privileges and benefits like that, ma'am. You got white people out here killing folks and don't even get charged. That's the $1 million worth of whiteness working for you. There's a white man who just killed a black man not too long ago. A white supremacist stabbed a black man to death, called him all types of niggas. The white supremacist got like a peace disturbing charge the other day. This is recent. That's the $1 million of whiteness. You can kind of do stuff and kind of get away with it that we could never do. So yeah, it's not the same opportunities, ma'am.
I mean, I really doubt I could. If you're talking about the average run-of-the-mill white person, no.
And you know it, ma'am. I mean, you know good and well that you get certain benefits and privileges from being white. You know that.
I never have. I've never experienced any privilege.
Yes, you have. Yes,
I have not. Name
yes,
one that the average day American who does not commit crimes, because I don't plan on murdering or going to trial anytime soon.
Not even that, ma'am. You're not marginalized. You're not mass incarcerated. You're not.
I mean, I'm not fucking killing people or selling drugs or
ma'am,
guns that I don't have the right to.
Ma'am, your community sells drugs left and right. You sell more drugs than anybody, ma'am. And the people in your community are not mass incarcerated for drugs. That's another privilege. The drug problem in your community is treated like a medical issue. Oh, they just need some medical help. They need rehab. When we have weed, which is a plant that grows from the ground, we get 20, 30 years off weed. You don't have white people getting all that you don't have white people going to jail like that for weed. You don't have white people going to jail like that for cocaine. They're the biggest drug dealers on the planet. That's white. And those are
every drug dealer I've ever met is a black man. So.
Ma'am, stop it. Where did he get his drugs from?
I don't know.
Your community. Your community, ma'am. We got it from
my community. Got it from Baltimore.
No, ma'am, your community. The white supremacists run Baltimore too. Don't be fooled by the black population.
Yeah, why do you think Baltimore's such a shithole?
Because of the white supremacists, they made it a shithole. That's why, man.
No, because the people living in it have no respect for their own community.
Man,
why would you clean up a community where the people that live there don't respect it themselves?
Do you have respect for your trailer parks?
No, I don't. But I'm
all right. But don't point the finger at Baltimore then. All right, Baltimore has wonderful people. Just like your trailer. Very nice. Excuse me, ma'am. Your trailer park has nice people, and so does Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the way they treat their own property.
Ma'am, the meth pipes laying around your trailer park, y'all have to clean those up first before you can point fingers at Baltimore, ma'am. You white supremacists are filthy. I've seen some of your homes. I've seen some of these trailer parks. You're not at liberty to talk about filth. And in Baltimore, most of the places are abandoned. That's dirty. So black people in Baltimore.
I was actually in Baltimore like a month ago. Half the people there are just fucking homeless and sleeping in the corners of every building.
Man, there's homeless, naked, shitting on the street white people, man. The black people in
I didn't say they were black, I just said homeless.
But I'm just saying the black people in Baltimore are actually very clean people. The areas that y'all like to point to are abandoned and dilapidated, and they're dilapidated because they're abandoned. So don't put that on the black people there. The black people.
I went to church down in Baltimore, and every single person in that church was white, clean, and beautiful. And I walked down the street, and every other person I saw that was homeless was black, smelly, and dirty. So explain that.
Ma'am, a lot of the homeless people are from your community, and
my community is a pretty nice upscale.
Ma'am, ma'am, in white supremacist community, even the ones who are not homeless are very smelly, ma'am. We're not going to go to smells. Even the people who have very nice homes.
I mean, Tariq, I don't know about you, but I can kind of smell you just across the space. Like,
ma'am,
you kind of have the breathing patterns of an obese person as well, which I feel like would lead me to believe you had some type of diabetes, which people with diabetes typically smell, type 2 specifically.
Ma'am, and you over there, you have them flabby honey boo boo titties, and in between them titties, it smells
I'm actually very skinny.
No, ma'am, you're big, floppy honey boo boo titties, and it smells like a wet puppy when you sweat, ma'am. I can hear it in your voice, and you probably look at interracial porn, fantasizing about black dudes running trains on you, and you can't get a brother to do anything.
I don't look at porn, so that's
yeah. Well, you don't. I know you don't, ma'am. But anyway,
I mean, I would marry and I would have children with a respectable black man who shares my faith and that has similar morals.
Ma'am, not with that degenerate white supremacist womb and that broken down uterus. You know them white supremacists.
My uterus is beautiful and well kept. I take my vitamins. I exercise. I get my period regularly. I'm pretty healthy.
Ma'am, you know them degenerate white supremacist uteruses don't really work like they're supposed to, ma'am. You know that. And you can't conceive like you want to. There's probably been a lot of miscarriages there, man. Plus the meth use and all of that. So it's all types of weird stuff going on with you guys. So that's probably where the anger is. You have all of these black people with these healthy bodies, and you're sitting over there with that stinky, broke down uterus with cysts all in them. So yeah, you're probably upset because of that. Is that why you're upset with black society, man?
No, I'm not upset with black society or with black people. I'm upset with ghetto culture and black people crying and yearning for reparations that they don't deserve.
Yeah, well, we deserve it, and we're going to get that, ma'am. And you're sitting up here upset with us because we're standing up for what we're supposed to get, and we're not doing what your ancestors did, which was flee Ireland with a bag of goddamn potatoes over here.
I mean, it's not my fault it's all the crop, and you would leave too if there was no damn fucking fried chicken and watermelon left.
Man, first of all, fried chicken is delicious. Watermelon is one of the most healthiest fruits, so that's not an insult.
It's not an insult. I was just
but sitting up here eating potato skins all day, eating all of that damn starch, and getting rickets and all types of diseases and ringworm and head lice to the point where you have to flee. Now, that's not a good look, ma'am. Now, is it?
Yeah, not being able to stand up for yourself back then and allowing yourself to get whipped and pick cotton isn't a good look, is it?
And ma'am, whooping these white supremacist asses like the Black Seminoles and like some of the other...
The only one that whipped anything was Harriet fucking Tubman and Abraham.
Ma'am, you don't know history. Several of us were whooping ass. All of us were not sitting around getting beat down by your family members. We were whooping ass back, and we were a minority over here. And some of your white supremacists, and these are not your ancestors because your ancestors came over afterwards because they couldn't afford a slave. They couldn't afford potatoes, let alone a slave. But some of the white supremacists were getting their asses handed to them. And that's one of the reasons slavery ended, because we were fighting back, ma'am, and we didn't flee like that. So is that why you're angry? Because
these days, it seems to be all about the optics. Everybody wanna talk, can't nobody stay on topic. It's all about this power and how we finna take it. Some of y'all still sleeping, y'all the ones who ain't gonna make it. We done with the L's, now it's time for the dub. We riding, fuck a party, they done closed down the club. Strippers can't even strip no more, now it's only fans. Ain't no live sports song, cause it's only on demand, and that's good. So now we gotta focus on what's real. Every time we look around, we getting killed. So fuck 12. We finna do this shit for George. Fuck the judge, fuck the jury, fuck the judge, fuck the charge. We been fed up and the rage is getting higher. We fucked around and found out the devil afraid of fire. So now when we get turned up, shit get burned up. I see a lot of souls burn up and neck turn up. And we came to take the statues down and take the crown. I seen it on the news, a crowd of pigs powering down.